Shalom, Shalom, Yasharallah, coming with another edifying lesson to the hopeful elect of Israel and the 144,000. Once again, we do these lessons and these videos to edify in the exaltation for the hopeful elect and the 144,000 of Yasharallah, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans with Indian, Taino, Negro descent, by the house of your father, by the seed of your father, by the pedigree of your father, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. Okay, so we're going to watch a lot of this segment. We'll probably watch 5 to 7 minutes of it. I'm going to bring probably 3-4 precepts through the spirit of the Rakar Kadash. I want to start off by saying I give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, or Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, Barakathai, Yahweh for the Rakar Kadash, Yahweh for the third temple of the house of King David, Yahweh for the house of David, who will rule under Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Yahweh for all the meek servants out there in the highways and the byways, the house of David, that's out there in the highways and the byways, all the Akim that's doing the work in sincerity and in truth. And the Hawala for the sisters of Yasharallah, the elect sisters, the Yaquat, and the children of Yasharallah. Okay? So we're going to check out this this video, Israel. Okay? Like I said, we're going to get about 5 to 7 minutes of it. And I hope that it's edifying to the hopeful elect of Yasharallah.
Strange has been happening over the last year or so. If you talk to any funeral director, they will tell you they are seeing things that they've never seen before. I mean, we featured some of them here on the show before, but like they're seeing strange looking blood clots. They're seeing all sorts of bizarre things. We'll have more on these strange looking blood clots in a second. They're working harder and longer than they've ever been working before, these undertakers, right? They've been on their feet. They've been seeing more cases than they've ever had in their 20, 30-year history as being an undertaker. Something else that they're seeing is a huge demand for tiny coffins. Huge demand for tiny coffins, child-sized caskets. That's right, coffins that will fit young people. These aren't people dying of COVID, though. It's something else entirely. Some funeral homes report that in their entire history of doing business, they have never seen so many young people dying. I wonder what they all have in common. This company that provides caskets to Costco. By the way, did you know that Costco has caskets?
No.
You can get caskets at Costco. I didn't realize that. You have everything else, but you can, probably through their online store. But their orders are through the roof right now at Costco. This is one a casket manufacturer that sells to Costco. It says demand is up for child-sized caskets. He says, my family business is casket manufacturing in North America. We've received 2 bulk orders for sub 5-foot units, children's size, in less than 6 months. Never in 30-plus years of business have we ever sold child-sized coffins in bulk. The smaller size orders have never been so popular. I would like to mention that all casket sales are up dramatically in the last 2 years, Mark Haddock writes. Or he says in this interview, it's a casket manufacturer that provides caskets to.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great debt, and great debt, and great debt, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an minute, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Elohim, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Costco. And something else, undertakers and embalmers around the world are busier than they've ever been. We've covered this on the show and show how busy they are. They've been in the United States specifically and in the UK. Here's Australia, for example. According to the Daily Mail, undertakers are busier there than ever. This week, this new story out this week, undertakers are run off their feet with abnormally high numbers of Australians dying, and not just because of COVID.
Right. Again, Dr. John Campbell has been covering this unrelated deaths that they call unexpected deaths, is how we define it. It's things that, normally the government and health professionals have a baseline of how many people they expect to die of things that are not along the normal curve of flu season or aging or things like that. Traffic accidents around the
Revelations chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Elohim Yahweh who judgeth her. The book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4. Once again, the book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
highway around the holidays, that kind of thing. And those
funerals, I would estimate around 95% of them are
some kind of big answer, and the pandemic, and then everything changed. Here is UK funeral director John O'Looney. Listen.
November, December came and went. We were doing funerals. It wasn't busy. In fact, even despite the great effort they made in care homes to bump the numbers up, overall 2020 was quieter than 2019 for death rate. And the vast majority of funerals we do in the UK are cremation funerals. I would estimate around 95% of them are cremations, and the odd 5% would be burials. We weren't up on numbers, and it was the same everywhere. The statistics don't lie. They're there, government statistics that show there was no real increase. And it kind of got to the point where I said to a few people, I began to smell a rat. We weren't being told the truth. And I said to people, I bet the death rate soars in January when they begin vaccinating. And everybody laughed at me. They said, no, don't be so stupid, you're mad. And we came back to work on the 2nd, and on the 6th,
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse number 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Elohim, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and Egypt is America, right? Spiritual Egypt, Revelations 11 and 8. And have not asked at my mouth, Meaning y'all not asking us any questions here in the daughter of Babylon. Y'all not taking counsel of Yahweh by Hashem Masha Yahushai, right? Because y'all not asking the true servants and the true prophets, the true men of Yahweh by Hashem Masha Yahushai, what y'all should be doing while all hell is breaking loose. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and the trust in the shadow of Egypt. Let's read that again. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse number 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. The Pharaohs will be your Edomites. And to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And we're going to close out with this. We're going to bring out one more precept. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. And I hope that this lesson was edifying. Shalom.